Nigeria, oh our Nigeria. Of journalist deaths, security lapses, and cutthroat taxes. Last week was a dark one for journalism in Nigeria. To the light of two of its brightest stars, Haji Amin Al-Hassan Ahman and Haruna Dauda dimmed and blew out. Amina was cast in the print section of the profession, while Haruna was a star in broadcast journalism. I first noticed Amina in 2014 at a leadership newspaper editorial meeting for editors and senior editorial management staff. The meeting, held every Monday, had each editor defending their paper comparatively against its counterparts from other media houses. Friday leadership, for instance, will be compared against every paper around the country published on the same day. Amina was a striking lady with a queenly pose who had a masterful command of English, spoken with the inflection of the British tone. If you were in another room and overheard her speak, you might assume a Briton was speaking next door. As a diplomat's daughter, she had the opportunity to study at Kuwait English School when her late father, Ambassador Yahya Al-Hassan, was an ambassador in the country. And in her gait and courage, you will know she was a polished individual. Haruna, the Voice of America Hausa service reporter for Borno and Yobe states, was a gentleman of the first order, and humble too. I will call him Machi Gauta or garden egg eater because the Babur, the tribe he belonged to in the local government in Borno State, are known to consider the small, bitter types of garden eggs a delicacy, sometimes eaten with pepper. He always answered respectfully. In life, only Allah knows how every one of us will end our lives. A seemingly inconsequential sickness, thought to be high blood pressure, escalated into something else that caused him partial paralysis. The last time we spoke, he told me he had just returned from a Cairo hospital facilitated by the Borno State Governor, Babagana Umar Zulum. Amina's case differed. She did not tell close friends about her ailment. I'm still at a loss as to why she hid it. Being the considerate and kind-hearted person she was it that she did not want to bother people or be seen as a liability? She must have been seriously bedridden 6 months ago, as the mammary cancer spread to her brain about that time. According to one of her sons, she was diagnosed with it about 3 years ago, but she will not go for chemotherapy until it spread. After her death, I went through our chats to see if she had left me any hints, and I saw an SMS chat of 12 September 2022. I sent her a message that a man with a so-and-so number had called me from Alliance Hospital regarding her request for an interview on something related to cancer. And she replied to me, "Oh, yes, that must be the MD. I will call him. Thank you." That was the closest I came to associating her with cancer. At the time, she was my staff. She was an editor and rose to become Neptune Prime's Chief Operating Officer because of her diligence, dedication, and loyalty. She was the type who was ready to take the flak for others if anything went wrong. As a publisher, you could understand if I assumed she wanted to interview the MD for our paper. because she drove our newspaper's content direction and editorial policy. After her death, I realized that she wanted to consult a specialist over her ailment. As I said, we first met at Leadership newspaper. She was a features editor, and I was the Stable's Friday title editor. In 2014, I became the spokesman for Dr. Abdul Bulama, Minister of Science and Technology, and she was made acting editor in my place. She also rose to become editor of the weekend edition and a member of the newspaper's editorial board. Our paths crossed again when I floated Neptune Prime, an online newspaper, in 2016. She was no longer with Leadership. The rest, as is often said, is history. While I was not very close to Haruna, who was Maiduguri based, from my few interactions with him and the testimonies of friends, journalism has lost a gem, and humanity has lost a part of it. As for Amina, I knew her as a very compassionate, thoughtful, considerate, morally upright lady who was just and mindful of how God and society would look at her. A British intoned Assalamu alaikum rings in the air as always. She's not just a loss to journalism, but to humanity at large. May Amina Al Hassan Ahmad be in Jannatul Firdaus with her late father and beloved husband. And may Haruna Daudabiu find favor with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Insecurity, our immigration, our airports. Last week, many Nigerians had the news that the wife and mother of Ado Aleo, a bandit kingpin, making life a living hell for Nigerians in the Zamfara axis, were apprehended. Please wait for it. The arrest was made in Medina. No, not Gusau, not at any of our airports. Not by the immigration officers who possess their passports and were at the airports to monitor travelers. Our NDLA officials were napping. JSS, no. Patrick Utomi has taken their attention. Where were the police? NSCDC, FAN, and NACO officials? But that is not even the worst part of it. Wait and watch. No heads will roll. And so, there is no medicine in courts against future occurrences. Don't tax us out of business. Last week, at the 2025 Taraba International Investment Summit, Alhaji Aliko Dangote, Africa's richest man, disclosed that foreign investors will come without invitation if local investors were treated well. That is, if they were making a good profit to offset the cost of production. He said that for every 1 naira he or any investor made, 52 kobo went to the federal government as tax. He should know because last year the Dangote Group and its subsidiaries paid over 402.3 billion naira in taxes, making them the highest taxpayers in Nigeria. Surely, there will be serious problems in our economic development if entrepreneurs who invest their resources to create employment opportunities for our teeming populations are taxed out of business. What of the wise saying, not to kill the goose that lays the golden eggs?